Warning: the following content contains language that may be inappropriate for younger viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to the Let's Get Heavy podcast, where we explore the realms of heavy music and have conversation with some of the most talented bands in the genre. Today's episode, I got to sit down with Aïcha from Burial Path, where we discuss the band's inception, inspirations, future plans, and even the return of the Jordy challenge. How well do you think Aïcha fared? You're about to find out, so let's get heavy. So Aïcha, welcome to Get Heavy UK. I am Stevie, also known as Beardbo, as you may recall, before we changed to Get Heavy UK.
Yeah.
And welcome. It's good to have you here, and have a little chat all about Burial Path, which is, can I just say, sweet. Love the debut single, The Seeker. It is absolutely sick. I need to give a shout out as well to my friend Psychotech, who introduced me to the band. He brought it to my attention. He understands what I'm trying to do and promote bands, etc., on the Twitch channel, and he said, Steve, here you go. There's this band out of Texas, Burial Path. They need some love. Can you help? And I was like, holy shit, yes, 100%. Because when I heard your vocals, I was just blown away. Absolutely blown away.
We appreciate it. We appreciate that you like the song, and of course, it's been fun so far. Getting to release that.
Before we get into where in God's name did you learn how to sing like that? Do you have some sort of like inner demon hiding inside you, or?
I might be housing a few, just a few.
Wow, honestly, I was. When I showed it to every one of my friends, hey, heard this, listen to this girl sing. I was like, Jesus. Wow, just absolutely insane vocal. It's an insane talent, so look after it, because it going places with that. So a bit of an introduction into the band. How did Burial Path come together, and what were your musical influences?
Burial Path, at least from my side, came together. I did a vocal feature on Matt, our guitarist's other band's song. He's in a band called Keeper of the Morgue, and they had a song they wanted me to feature on. So of course I loved the song and said, hey, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a little bit different than what I'm currently doing, and it'll get me on some more songs, get me out there, get me going, doing some other things. So we did that. We worked well together. We had fun doing it. It went over pretty well when we released the song. So eventually Matt came back to me and he said, hey, I'm thinking about starting a side project. I have some music that's kind of ready to go. And at least in the sense we've got some songs, we'd like to have vocals for. So what do you think? And I said, give me some time to think about it. Let me make sure it's going to work for both of us. And yeah, it worked out clearly. So
100%.
Yeah, here we are.
I'm glad it worked out indeed. Did he introduce you to any songs first before you made your decision to form this project, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd heard what he was writing in Keeper in the Morgue, so I kind of had an idea of his style of writing. Of course, Burial Path is different in its own right,
Yeah.
But I was confident just by knowing, how well we worked with that, how well those songs sounded. So when he showed me a few of the songs that he had and said, hey, we'd like to go this direction with these, what do you think? I said, well, I really like them. I just want to make sure that I have the time to really commit to the group, because if I'm going to be a part of something, I would like it to be 100% full-hearted.
100%. Yeah, totally agree. No point of just doing half job in it. So yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. So can you describe the band's sound and style? What makes Burial Path unique in a deathcore scene? Because you've kind of got that deathcore vibe, do you? Maybe with a little bit of gent.
Yeah, especially with the Seeker. I feel like for me, what makes Burial Path stand out, at least on my aspect of things, is of course lyrical content, just on my side. I would say my approach to writing is one thing. I would say my approach to the way I place vocals is another. I know Matt, in his mind, kind of wanted to bring back a little bit of what he called the MySpace deathcore era. So You'll hear some of that simplicity in our songs, but it's just really good, heavy riffage that makes you kind of want to bang your head, you know. Um, so I will say our music might take some different turn direction as we continue to put stuff out. But yeah, as far as the Seeker, we had a certain approach, and it was just our first song, so we were like, hey, let's just see what we can do with this.
Some old school MySpace deathcore.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah.
that is just MySpace in general. It's been a long time since I've heard anyone talk about MySpace. Get in. But some top bands came out of that era. To be honest with you, I mean,
Yeah.
Bring Me the Horizon. They're
Love them.
one. Yeah, I can imagine. Not one of my personal favorite bands, I will admit, but still, they had an amazing success story coming out of that era. I think Aiden as well. Is it Aiden? I think they come.
Yeah.
I think they're another MySpace type band. But yeah,
They were great.
yeah. So definitely, hey, so far so good. What I'm heard, it really does sound absolutely amazing. I'm not just blowing smoke up here, but it really is. Honestly, it's like it's unreal. It's absolutely sick. People need to hear it. So, so Aisha, what drew you to deathcore, and how did you find your place in the band as the vocalist?
I apologize, I didn't hear the first part of that question there.
Quite all right. What drew you to deathcore?
Okay. I feel like that's a big question. As for me at least, when I was a bit younger, there were bands that I liked that were probably listed as deathcore, maybe a little bit of splashes of other genres within their music, and I really liked the impact that I felt when I listened to the music, the vocals, the emotion behind it. At least what I could hear in the vocals. The lyrics usually were pretty impactful as well. So I would say those things. And I mean, to be simple about it, I just liked how brutal it sounded, and I wanted to try to sound just as brutal. Um, of course, I'll say that this is my first deathcore band, so that has been fun for me because the other bands that I've done have been a little bit different as far as what I do vocally. So for this one, this is kind of like the first time I'm kind of really getting to experiment with how far I can push my voice, and honestly, in some cases, even learning new techniques that I'm not familiar with. So I feel like this band is offering me a chance to grow in a certain way. Um, yeah, and like I said, just kind of get to open up and broaden and experiment in a way I haven't before.
And with your vocal, are you self-taught, or do you have an actual vocal coach?
Oh, definitely self-taught. A lot of
Wow,
screaming in my room, and when I was younger, I'm sure I very much annoyed my parents. But
some pent-up frustrations and aggression. That
oh
is
yeah,
that is the way that's how most death metal bands come to be, I suppose, with vocalists, just pent up frustration, screaming in their rooms.
yeah.
But wow, that is amazing, self-taught. And it, how have you learned not to basically shred your vocal cords with that style of singing?
I'm gonna say a lot of trial and error. I don't think I've ever been at a point where I would ever hurt myself with my vocals. I probably have not done myself good. Um, but I think what I've noticed in my own vocals is over time, I just got better and had more control over things because I used to not have control. I struggled with certain tones. Um, definitely as far as just control with words, like I can make the sounds, but words were really hard to enunciate in certain ways, holding tones without it just being lost and sounding throaty. It took a long time to be, I would say, as stable as I am vocally now.
So you've also touched on briefly that obviously this is your first deathcore band. So what are
Yeah.
your other projects? Is that more melodic to what you're doing with with Burial Path?
Yeah, my other current band that I'm in now, the Spelling Triangle, is symphonic death metal. So it's still very brutal vocally, but in the sense of being a differentiation in the style. Um, there's like, at least for myself, there's more emphasis in Burial Path on the extreme of things, the extreme lows, the extreme highs, whereas with the Sibelian Triangle, a lot of it is stability throughout because it's um, there's a lot of words, there's a lot of emotion in it, but rather than focusing on how crazy goblin-y sounding can I make this high scream. It's more about being stable throughout the songs.
See, when you said that you were in other projects, I was going to think first deathcore band, maybe she does something like punk or completely different, just something alternative, more melodic, has this completely different. Just is this the same person type vocals? But that's fair enough. And what is the, if you don't mind asking, what is the name of this other project?
It's called a Zabellian Triangle. Yeah,
We'll have to check that out straight after this.
it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
But so moving on though, we've got a debut single out called The Seeker, which is absolutely fantastic, which we touched on moments ago. What was the inspiration behind this absolute beast of a track?
I think it stemmed a little bit from the idea behind the name of the band, or the concept behind the band. So I guess, long story, try to make it short. For Burial Path, we kind of fiddled around with some name choices, things like that, and eventually we did land on Burial Path. And for me, the name kind of represented a person coming to a point in their life where they kind of have to choose a new road, a new sense of being, in order to flourish and grow, become the person that they really are. So they're essentially laying everything in the past behind, laying it to rest, accepting it, making amends with it, but essentially burying the old and taking the new path. So we called it Burial Path. And The Seeker is kind of an insight to a really rough time that I had in life with my mental health. And, my experience with that, how over time I learned through it, changed, transformed, if you want to call it, alchemizing it a bit, and becoming a happier, better person in general. So, it was essentially me seeking a different sense of self, The Seeker.
Before we continue, thank you very much for sharing about your mental health struggles, because it's never easy. It's never easy to openly admit one's struggles. So thank you very much. We're strong advocates here at Get Heavy UK to get people to speak about their issues. Never be quiet, never be silent. There's always somebody there to talk. So honestly, thank you very much for sharing with that. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. I feel it's important. I mean, that's a lot of,
it is,
at least my push behind Burial Path.
100%, 100%. Yeah. Which is why you've been to our Twitch channel. We end on that silly little song, S Club 7, Reach for the Stars. But basically the open lyrics is what we use to tell people, when you're feeling blue, I'll be there for you. Do you know what I mean? So that's basically what I'm telling people. If you're feeling blue, I'm just a message away. No matter what time it is, just message.
It makes so much of a difference for a lot of people. It really does.
I'd rather get a phone call saying that you're struggling, and then instead of getting a phone call and have something really bad that's taking place. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely agree.
So 100%. So can you tell us about the songwriting process and lyrical themes behind The Seeker?
Yeah, the song itself was, I want to say, partially put together. Matt had a little bit of work with a guitarist before Burial Path had fully formed, so the song was kind of, I guess, somewhat already in existence, and Matt did a little adjusting on it here and there. We went back on things where I was like, hey, I like this, but and I think vocally this might sound cool if we adjust little things here and there. It wasn't great differences in the song. So for the most part, the song was sort of close to ready to go. We just added some things to kind of make it fit more for Burial Path, really hone in on what we could push emotionally with it, especially with lyrics on top and vocal placements. Starting out, we kind of had the idea that we did want it to be about mental health, because again, that's kind of what Burial Path was stemming on. At least that's where we wanted to go with concept. And for me, the writing process is definitely kind of a therapy on its own. So I started with that basic idea, and it just kind of started flowing into what I would call self-alchemy. So I wrote from a place of that, where, again, a person is seeking, and they're going through these different steps of the alchemy process of the soul to transform. And, taking the pain, making it the power that pushes them through, and finally hitting the true ascension once they've realized that it's all within self.
So did all the lyrics come from yourself, or did Matt or any other members jump in and help with that?
There was, I believe, one section that Matt helped me on. It was the part that talks about the darkest abyss, and that he definitely contributed on, because I was a bit stuck. I was like, okay, this is a point in the song where it kind of sounds a little nasty and maybe a little dark. So, you know, what would you think would fit well here? And he was like, well, when I think about this is what I kind of hear. So he definitely helped me adjust that section there. And it felt like it really all came together, because I know when I was, in my roughest state, it felt like a dark hole that I was probably just going further into without even realizing it, because, you think you're going through different avenues of self-help, things like that, and they're making things better, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes you don't realize it until you're a little further into the dark.
Those gutturals though during that breakdown must help as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, that must be a massive stress relief right when you finish that song.
It was fun. I had so much fun. I think doing the music video, I was, having to do a few of those takes a few times. I was tired, but I was like, it's gonna be so great. We were so excited to share it with everyone.
I bet you've got some funny stories about recording that video. There's always some funny stories back,
Oh yeah.
especially behind the scenes when you're recording a music video, and it's some of the things that just to get like a particular effect that you're after. Some of the stories that I've heard to get a particular effect. So one of my friends' bands called Cast and Tefra, during like they have like a segment in the video where you'll just see each member by themselves, but you'll see a red flashing light, and it's literally just it's another member behind the camera doing this with a light.
Oh yeah, we had a little bit of that in our video as well. We had a hanging light, which you can kind of see in the darker sense, and it was somebody overhead just lightly swinging it. It looked cool though. We could knock it.
This is it. This is exactly what I'm saying. Is like it's amazing how what people can do just to get an effect. But
Yeah.
can you share any funny stories of what happened while filming?
I would say that was one of the funnier things, because we we realized we had to keep a certain pace so that everybody's takes matched up. So it was a lot of focusing on swinging it and swinging it low enough just to get the right amount of light, but not too much, and then also not hitting people with it, which we had a few times where the guitars got pretty close. So it was a fun little time. I mean, interesting fact, at least was kind of entertaining to us, was that was our first time actually meeting in person, filming the music video. So I drove all the way up to Nebraska. I mean, we met days before the music video, but that was literally our first time, in that week meeting in person. So it was a big week. We had a little photo shoot, did the music video, and of course just got to know each other better. So it was really cool.
That's cool. So where are the rest of the members from then?
They're in Nebraska.
They're all
So,
is it just you and Matt that's in Texas?
Matt's in Nebraska.
Matt, you're the only one in Texas. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, so how long does it take to get to Texas from Nebraska?
It's about 13 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a big trip.
Is that flying or is that driving?
I drove. I was like, I could use a road trip. I've not been this far out of Texas, so hey, I'm excited.
Wow. Respect.
It was fun. It was fun.
13-hour round trip. I'd imagine you stayed there for how long was the recording of the video?
We did just one day on the video, but I stayed for about a week because I just wanted to, again, explore outside of Texas, us do things as a band. That way we're kind of building that bonding time, because I knew I wouldn't often be able to drive up to Nebraska. But, or even, when the next time we would get together for a music video, just because we were still so early in the process. I mean, we had big eyes for the future, but we were also just kind of being realistic with the difference in space between us. How are we gonna make this work? How often are we gonna see each other? So we tried to make the most of it.
Yeah, I can imagine. That must be struggle for when it's gonna come to gigs. I'm assuming you're gonna start gigs in the future.
That's the hope. That's the hope. I can't speak concretely, but we would like to hopefully be doing some live gigs maybe by I'd say next year. It just really is going to depend on logistics, but we're all pretty I would say pretty eager to make it work regardless. I mean, it's 13 hours, but a flight is not too bad.
Yeah. A 2-hour flight or a 13-hour drive.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I forget how big the United States is. That's absolutely
Crazy.
insane, isn't it? Compared to us here in the UK on our tiny little island.
It's big.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in Newcastle, and it only takes us 3 hours just to get to Manchester. So
That's awesome though.
5 hours to London. Do you know what I mean? So that's a drive, but 13 hours. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. In Texas, you can drive for 7 hours and still be in Texas.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow. So, if the rest of the band is in Nebraska, sorry, and you in Texas, how did you actually meet the rest of the guys? Was it just an online meet, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I had worked with Matt initially, and Gage, our drummer, is also in Matt's other band, Keeper of the Morgue. So we kind of, met in that with the group chats and stuff. And Jeremy, who's our other guitarist, came in a little bit later. But yeah, we're really good about communicating daily in our band chats. We have band meetings pretty regularly, even if it's just to kind of check in, see how everybody's feeling, what we want to continue working on, content stuff. So we stay pretty talkative and chatty, close as we can through the distance. So it's even though we are so far apart, it doesn't really feel like it.
That's good. That's cool. That you can't just do like this video chat, see how everyone's doing. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, well, my next question was how do you record as a full band? But obviously that doesn't happen with you being in Texas, of course. So I take it's a case of recording bits and pieces and then just sending it backwards and forwards via email.
Yeah, it's a lot of sending back and forth. Matt does all his stuff. He's got a kind of like a home studio where he's pretty much set up for mixing, recording, everything he needs. He even has a vocal booth. So, while I was down there, we did punch-ins for The Seeker because I was there and I was like, why not? But for me, myself, I record here at home. I have a setup and, I have a little closet that I've got soundproof. So sometimes I just set the time aside and do my vocals in there. I get them cleaned up and I send them over to Matt. He drops them in the project and he does the magic from there.
Wow. So is the band pretty much do it yourself sort of thing? So recording, mixing, mastering, everything. Did you even do the video yourselves, or did you hire somebody for that?
Music wise, everything's in house for now, but we did hire somebody for videography and photography. So it was Mike Kazel who ended up doing our music video, and he's actually from Nebraska and knows all the guys. So it was them who recommended him, and of course he did amazing with the video. Just what we were looking for.
He did an outstanding job with the video.
Yeah.
You did a lyrical video first, didn't you?
We did release one, and I believe the creator of that was Docky Gore. He used our art for the single, and yeah, we wanted to make sure that people were able to see the lyrics because we know sometimes lyrics don't get uploaded to Google. Google is early as content is dropped, so we wanted to make sure that people had that visual and option to read lyrics as well.
And of course, and with them demonic gutturals, we need the lyrics just to make sure that we're under. Is that what you actually said? Yes, just want to make sure.
Yeah, there's some big words in there, so it'd be nice to be able to see what I'm saying.
So I am following you guys on Facebook and Instagram, and you have been teasing some new tunes. So are you able to share anything that you're currently working on?
Yeah, we're currently in the process of wrapping up our next single. And I say wrapping up, so it should be being released within the next month or so, I believe. Check with them on it, but we do have one coming out very soon. We're wrapping up, so we did a post today that kind of showed that we were working on some creative content for it. We're basically editing all that, getting that ready to go, and I've already started on, and I believe also Matt's already started on the single that comes after that. So we're really on a roll and trying to keep good momentum. We don't want I guess our content to kind of fall into this lull where people are just not seeing a lot from us and wondering what's going on. Even though we're an internet band, we're definitely trying to push it as hard as possible. We would like to be doing live gigs, and we know that the only way to get there is to essentially be putting out as much as we can and giving it as much as we can.
Nice. So are we allowed to get? I know you mentioned spoilers before, but are you allowed to give us the song title of this?
We haven't released any of that information yet.
So other than the new song that's due out within a couple of weeks, are we working on like a full EP or going full album, or are you just going to stick with singles for the time being?
I think the goal is to release as singles, but everything will be packaged as an EP by next year, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on the dates, but we are talking that we have a schedule. Hopefully, the schedule doesn't change, things like that. Sometimes things are subject to change, but we're trying to stick with it as much as possible.
So this could be a little bit of a challenge for you without not giving any spoilers. What can fans expect from the upcoming releases? Sounds and themes?
There will definitely be a little bit of change in sound. I don't feel like I'm giving too much of a spoiler if I say that they'll basically or can probably look forward to hearing a little bit more symphonic elements within it. I guess we call it a little bit of post-production. We really wanted to enhance the impact of the music itself, whereas the Seeker has that impact, but we really wanted to kind of ramp it up a little bit with this being our second song coming out soon. We wanted to basically show people that the Seeker was great, but we're also just going to keep continuing to experiment and grow. I don't think sound will change so much where it will be unrecognizable, but we're definitely excited to show the bit of growth that we've had just in the couple of months since we've released the Seeker.
So I was going to ask, are you going darker? Are you going to go faster? Are you even got maybe add some more djent elements to it?
Definitely going to be faster. As far as the djent stuff, I think that especially with the Seeker came down to that bass tone. So I'm going to assume that bass tone is probably still going to be there. Can't say that it'll be specifically djenty in every song, but that element I believe is definitely going to stay. So.
And of course more breakdowns. We need more breakdowns.
Yeah, always.
More breakdowns that are going to slap harder than Will Smith. So
there's one in the next song for sure.
Oh, I hate being teased. You know that. I'm impatient. I want it now. That's what it is.
Yeah, I feel bad. I like leaked everything. I was just telling you all. I wasn't supposed to say anything, but here I am.
Did Matt? Don't say this. Don't say this. Is that what Matt said?
Yeah, no, we were just talking about how we shouldn't say, too much on the post that we posted today, and here I am just telling all our secrets on an interview. So
yeah, it's fine. Like I say, we can cut things out. So, are there any particular challenges or opportunities that have come with creating new music in this current music landscape?
I think just for me, I always have a worry, if I happen to write something or put something out, am I putting it out and is it going to be liked a lot, or are people going to hear it and say, oh, this could be changed? There's always that worry, but then also, again, doing it for self, not just because we want everybody to like it. I think that's, at least for me, always a challenge when I'm writing. Try not to focus on so much of like, are people going to like it, and focusing more on, do I like it? Does it sound good? But also, is it fitting? Something that people would like. Is it really going to reach people where they'll latch onto it and say, you know what, this song made me feel a certain way, rather than is it just catchy?
Other than, I can imagine a big challenge is obviously the distance. Yeah. Other than the distance, any other challenges that you've faced as a band so far? And if you have, how have you overcome them?
I would say we really haven't run into too many roadblocks. I think challenges are probably going to happen with timing just because we're all on a different time schedule. And I don't really probably wouldn't equate that too much to being far apart. I know there have been times where I've been on tour or something like that. So schedules kind of overlapped and, I might have been writing lyrics while I'm in the back of the van while we're getting ready to get to our next show type thing. Um, so I feel like if there's been any difficulties, probably more that's been on my hectic schedule. But no, not really. We work really well together and always try to adjust if there's anything that comes up when we fight that it might be a little bit rough in making it work. But outside of that, the scheduling I think has probably only been the thing where we've come into some challenges, but it's never felt like a challenge. It's more of just like this is the way around it. This is the steps to do it.
I like that. That's good. That's good. So, we'll touch on briefly about gigs, because obviously we want gigs. I would very much love the opportunity to one day, if the band reached a certain point where you can come to the UK, or I can get over to the States sometime and see the guys live in action. 'Cause I think the intensity would make for an absolute sick live show. What would you be most excited about performing live with Burial Path?
Oof. Honestly, just being able to share the stage together. We've never played live together, so just being able to be on stage and playing for the first time together would just be awesome. To be able to hear our song live together, and people also getting to hear it for the first time live, that would be amazing. And I know I'm just speaking for the Seeker, but all the songs that we've got coming forth next, that I would be so stoked for it. The closest thing we've had to that is performing for the music video, and that's not the same as having a crowd in front of you and really getting to put your body into it, put your emotion into it, not in a performative sense for a video.
Yeah,
just really letting loose and having fun with it.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about: having fun, having a laugh, sort of thing. Yeah. So, but when you were together, as a unit, when you were all in Nebraska, did you have a jam session?
No, we didn't. I'd say we did a little bit of practicing. Everybody kind of did their parts here and there where they could, but not really. We didn't really have a jam session. Is we were on a pretty tight time frame because of course I had to do the drive and everything. So we were still, as I'd mentioned, doing a couple of punch-ins for this song when I got up there. So we were kind of tight on that. I know that Gage definitely did a little bit of practicing on his E-kit beforehand, and I think Matt did a little bit of practicing on his guitars while I was over. We were kind of chit-chatting, shooting the breeze, and he pulled that out, did some practicing, but nothing that was, like a group all together. It was kind of just like we all made sure that we were good to go and said, hopefully we don't mess this up when we do it all together in the video. Which we did good, it seemed like.
That's brilliant. So, overall, though, before we move on, overall, where do you see, or where would you like Burial Path to be in the next 5 to 10 years?
I would like to see us doing as many shows as possible, touring, traveling outside of our local areas, them outside of Nebraska, me outside of Texas, and um, honestly, just doing it more than us just doing things online. If we could continue to do the things online, and grow our presence, it would be great. But I would love to get out there and meet people, them meet us, hear our stuff, and just be able to grow with the fan base. That would be amazing. That would be lovely.
Nice. Well, I think you're doing a stand-up job for how young the band is so far, because you've only been together, what, not even a couple of months, would you say?
Yeah, we announced or I guess the Seeker was released somewhere. I think it was like May was the release. So I think the band was announced just 2 or 3 months before that. So it hasn't even been a full year yet.
Yeah, so you've achieved quite a bit within that time. The Seeker's getting some absolutely fantastic views on YouTube. So
Yeah.
keep plugging, keep doing what you're doing. I'm looking forward to hearing that absolute new track when it comes out.
Thank you. I'd definitely like to give a shout out to C Square. They've helped us out a lot with pushing us to the right avenues. Definitely got us quite a few articles or blogs and magazines, which I believe absolutely helped a lot. It helped a lot of people find our music, and of course, Slam Worldwide had us on their channel, so that helped. Hardcore Team had us on his channel. That definitely pushed us a lot online. So those have been great.
Excellent, thank you. So we're coming up to the part of the interview, which is a bit of fun for the interview. Are you feeling adventurous?
Sure, let's go for it.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. So this part of the interview is called the Jordy Challenge. And basically in our part of the world known as Newcastle, here in the UK, we're very close to Scotland, so that's how we're sounding a bit with the accent, you could probably tell. I have tried my very hardest to speak as clear as possible without using my normal accent, because a lot of people don't understand us. So, but yes, we're known as Geordies here in Newcastle, and we've got quite a distinct accent. There are quite a few origin stories on the term Geordie, but the origin that I know of originated from what my granddad told us, was that it came from the old coal mines in Durham and Northumberland, which are little areas just outside of Newcastle, and it's basically it's like written in for poems and songs about the Geordie. Oxford English Dictionary states it's the word first used to describe a local pitman back in 1876.
Okay.
So you will be the second person from Texas to have a crack at the Geordie Challenge. So I've got 7 Geordie sayings. I will tell you those sayings, and you've got to try and guess what it would mean in standard English. Now, I tried this with piss and razors, and they got 2 right.
Oh gosh, let's hope I can at least get 2 right as well.
So no pressure. I've got 7 for you. If you need me to use it in a form of a sentence, I'm happy to. Let us know.
All right.
So,
let's go.
number 1, purely belter.
Ooh, can I get that in a sentence?
Of course you can. Of course you can. That Seeker song was purely belter.
Oh. I'm gonna say probably pretty good. I don't know.
Spot on. Well done. You got the first one right. Everyone normally fails on that one. So
maybe I'll do okay then.
maybe so far so good. So this is Aware the Lads.
I definitely need that in a sentence.
So think of more of a sporting event. Yeah,
Okay.
you had ice hockey or American football or soccer, however, and basically you're cheering on your team. Aware the Lads.
Oh, there's a word for that, right? Like it's a kind of like a slogan, a cheer slogan or something like that.
Kind of.
Hmm. I would say almost like a toast or a cheer. That's all I could probably say.
Let's go, basically. Just
Okay.
let's go. Let's go, team. Aware the Lads. So
Okay.
so when we're our local soccer team, football team to us is Newcastle United. And whenever you go into the Newcastle games, it's Aware the Lads, big up the tune. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
I've definitely heard the big up.
You see, big up.
I've heard that before.
I'm so basically how I would normally say it. I'm going down to the tune and watch Newcastle play football.
Awesome.
See what I mean? That's how we would normally talk. So it's been very difficult to speak very clear.
Well,
So
I appreciate
now
it.
this one, a lot of people struggle on this one. Clamming for me be it.
One more time.
Clamming for me be it.
Can we use it in a sentence? I'm probably gonna ask for a sentence.
That's
for everyone.
quite all right. How can I put this? So I'm with a friend, for example, and I'll say, "How mate, I'm clamming for me bait." That's probably not gonna help any better.
Yeah, I know. Like, that can mean so much. Oh, I'm gonna say I'm traveling to get there.
Ooh,
I'm on the way.
That is quite a way distance off, but I'm hungry. hungry for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hungry for me food. So yeah,
man.
that's what we would say. Bait. What's for
Bait
bait?
is
What
food.
bait
That
is
makes sense.
bait is food. Yeah.
Oh man, I got one right. The rest
You've
of it is
got
all
you've got we've got 4 more to go. Don't give up just yet. I'm gone yim.
wrong. Oof. Hmm. Definitely gotta have a sentence.
Sentence course. So you're playing a show. So after the Burial Path gig, I'm gone yim.
Going home?
Spot on. There we go. You hit the 2.
It sounds about right. It sounded like going home.
I'm gunning yim after I Burial the Path gig.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I would normally say it. So once that's finished, I'm gone yim.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So excuse me. He was gone proper Raj, number 5.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, I'm taking a guess, but I feel like proper means good. Or
Close.
right and good. Right and good. I don't know. What is it one more time?
He was gone proper Raj. Needed in a sentence.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. So I'll have to use again a person's name. So at Burial the Path, our friend Andrew was gone proper Raj in the pit.
Oh, he's going off hard, going off. I don't know. Going crazy.
Yeah, he was really angry. Proper.
I would never associate it with angry, but it makes sense.
Well, normally, I mean, I can't speak for the mosh pits over in Texas, but they can get pretty brutal over times over here. So,
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen a trash can or two thrown.
oh wow, well, I haven't seen a trash can. I've seen a portaloo. Is that count? I've seen people carry a portaloo. I don't know what goes to people. It's amazing when heavy music and alcohol mix, like stupidity comes out.
It's good. It's so good. Though.
It's funny. Honestly, I think it was. I don't know if you ever come across a band called Gutterlax.
Oh yeah, I've heard. Of them, yeah.
Gutterlax, yeah, from Norway. Yeah. If there's a video circulating online, people just carrying a portaloo.
Definitely checking it out.
It's just why? Why not? Why the hell not? So, number 6. You ready?
All right, let's go.
Here's a Deeks.
Oh,
So I'll just because the last time I said Deeks, everyone thought I said something else. It's DEEKS.
Okay.
Someone thought I said something else the last time, and yeah.
I make the assumption that you wouldn't. Can I get it in a sentence?
Here's a Deeks of that new Burial Path song.
Check it out. Get a game.
Yeah, there we go. There you got 3. You are the top band of Texas for the Jordy challenge.
1 to go. Let's see.
One more.
I feel like I'm gonna jinx myself.
Number 7. Our the Moon.
One more time.
Our.
Yeah.
The Moon. So our spelled OWA. Our the Moon.
Is that the equivalent to saying over the moon?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Just a little shortened.
It pretty much. He was our the moon.
Yeah. I guess emotionally taken aback by it, or I guess moved by it, should I say?
Yep. But extremely pleased. Our the moon. Yeah.
Over the moon. Yeah. That makes sense.
I will give you that. That is 4. You have set.
Hell yeah.
You have set the bar.
That was hard.
It was. I mean, you should. If it's difficult. If it's. How can I put it? I've been told many times, even by people in the UK, to slow down because apparently us Geordies were talked to. So, but you've done well. That is 4 out of 7. You are at this moment. You are second in the entire ranks of the Jordy challenge.
Hell yeah.
White Black being the first, so no one's been able to take them off the top spot just yet. But
We'll see. We'll see who's next.
100%. But 4 out of 5 first time, not bad at all. Thank you very much for that. So before we do call it a night, though, is there anything else that you wish to plug before you head off?
It's a big one. I know I already plugged C Square earlier. Mike Kiesel, of course, for doing the video for us.
Well, let's
honestly,
let's shout out who else we've got in the band. Let's shout. We've got Matt. Who's on drums?
yeah, we got Gage on drums and we got Jeremy on guitar, and they're absolutely amazing. They I mean, Burial Path would not be a thing without them. As I tell them, they've definitely been awesome for allowing me to come in and be a vocalist, giving me a platform to kind of express my own things through the lyrics and all that. So I appreciate them so much for just giving me the opportunity, and of course, you know, them having the I guess sense of adventure to jump in this and us try to do a band from states away.
So big love to Gage and Jeremy, and of course Matty himself, because
he's awesome.
he reached out, he put this in the works for us. So big love to all those guys. Those and that is our band. But where can we find the band? Where can people outside of the States find you guys?
You can definitely find us on Instagram, Facebook. We're definitely streaming on most streaming platforms, but we're definitely on Spotify. We have a TikTok. We're definitely trying to build that, so you'll definitely see footage, videos there being posted. Try to do some behind the scenes stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, pretty much on every platform. I think the only one we're not on is X. So and possibly Twitch, but we might move that way pretty soon.
Get a Twitch account. Get a Twitch account. You should.
I see it's pretty cool.
Why not? It's funny.
Yeah.
It's a good laugh. At the end of the day, get it done.
It is.
Gaming with Burial Path. I could say that. Just doing a gaming channel with Burial Path. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Be fine.
It would, wouldn't it?
It'll be cool.
I don't know if you're into like any board games or anything like that.
No, I'm not. I unfortunately I feel like I'm a little bit of a stick in the mud. I have a very limited hobbies just because music and work keeps me so busy. But no, I know Matt's definitely he's the one who was like, "Hey, I checked this out. I saw this on Twitch." So he's definitely active with Twitch. He's always sending us stuff and saying, "Hey, y'all got to get on Twitch." So
I do it.
It's definitely Matt that's pushing it.
Especially like if the 4 of you can get together and do like a live Twitch stream, just for fun and games. Have a game of Twister, just for just for the giggles.
Yeah, I know that was something we talked about probably less than a week ago, was doing more Q&As. So I know that I don't think we've actually really done one since we've released any songs. So it would be cool to actually do that. It's probably going to be our next set of content, I'd say.
Get it done. Honestly, good fun. Like I say, it's a good way to reach out to a wider audience as well. And that's what we want. We want the band to do well. We want the band to reach new heights and get a not just inside the States, of course, outside as well, UK, Europe, everywhere. Basically, that's what we want. It's a platform just like TikTok. If you ever did TikTok live, it's a good way for people outside of your own circles to discover the band. So,
yeah, we would love to be heard that far out. I mean, it's amazing that y'all heard us. So to me, it's a big accomplishment because, like I said, we're just Texas and Nebraska, in the States, to make it that far out.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. So I really do appreciate your time, giving it up your free evening to chat with myself. It's been really appreciated. Like I say, big love to yourself and to the guys. I'm looking forward to hearing more for the future of what's becoming of Burial Path. I'm following all the socials. Believe me, I am keeping tabs. So by all means, when I see that song drop, I'll be on it, like Bob on it.
Very soon. That's all I can say. It's very soon.
So we like to end all our interviews like this. I don't know if you've heard our slogan before, but the rules of the pit are the rules for life. When someone falls, we pick them up.
Always,
So,
always.
thank you very much for your time,
All right,
and
thank you. I appreciate it.
we'll see you really soon.
All right, thank you for having me.